Trump's people left sensitive government documents about his little meeting with Vladimir Putin in the printer of a hotel. And these were documents that contained information that probably should not have been left in the printer of a hotel. Hey, everybody, it's Kasky with Bulwark. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Please send this video to your children and your nieces and nephews and your grandkids and shit like that. Tell them Gen Z's fucking back. And frankly, it's almost like we never left. We've got a lot to talk about with this Trump-Putin shit. Obviously, Putin is doing what he does so well, which is stroking Trump's ego and playing him like a fiddle. Let's watch a video that kind of shows us the Trump mindset of how to deal with dictators.
And Vladimir said just a little while ago, he said, I've never seen anybody do so much so fast. He said, your country is like hot as a pistol. And a year ago, he thought it was dead. Everybody thought it was dead.
That's kind of all it takes for Trump to like you. You just kind of have to compliment him, stroke his dick a little bit. And if you're an authoritarian, that helps. I don't know if it's completely necessary, but he's obviously a big fan of that. This goes a little bit further than just Trump playing Putin's game by Putin's rules. Also, there's some stupid shit with his administration doing this thing that they fucking always do, and leaking information because of stupidity and negligence. NPR has reported that papers with U.S. State Department markings found Friday morning in the business center of the Alaskan hotel. By the way, Alaska is a beautiful place to vacation. Definitely scary that there's more guns than people there, but it's so gorgeous, and you're always within a 45-minute drive of some new natural beauty, probably even less than 45 minutes. Anyway, these papers revealed previously undisclosed and potentially sensitive details about the August 15th meetings between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Anchorage, which is my favorite part of Alaska, by the way. These were 8 pages that appear to have been produced by the U.S. staff and left behind accidentally, shared precise locations and meeting times of the summit, and of course, the phone numbers of U.S. government employees. If this reminds you of something, we'll get there in just a minute. The first page of this printed packet disclosed the sequence of meetings for August 15th, including specific names of the rooms inside the base in Anchorage where they would take place. And it also revealed that Trump intended to give Putin a ceremonial present. POTUS to President Putin, the document states, American bald eagle desk statue. This is the price that you pay for illegal genocidal acts of war, by the way, is you get an American bald eagle desk statue. Pages 2 through 5 listed the names and phone numbers of 3 U.S. staff members, as well as the names of 13 U.S. and Russian state leaders. And then some more shit like that on the next pages, including like a lunch menu to see. We'll put the pages up right now. Dante's going to throw them on the screen. This shit was just left in the printer, which raises some national security questions that I feel have been around since the beginning of this new administration. And it's just a level of sloppiness that I personally don't even remember from Trump Volume 1. Maybe it was there. There was definitely sloppiness, but this type of stuff feels new. And I'm just wondering why they are being sloppy authoritarians instead of competent authoritarian. But anyway, John Michaels, a professor of law at UCLA who lectures about national security, said that the documents found in the printer of the hotel in the beautiful Anchorage, Alaska, reveal a lapse in professional judgment in preparation for a high-stakes meeting. It strikes me as further evidence of the sloppiness and incompetence of the administration, said Michaels. You just don't leave things in printers. It's that simple. The printed papers are the latest example of security breaches that have almost defined the administration. Earlier this week, members of a law enforcement group chat that included members of ICE, I don't know if disgraced former Superman actor Dean Cain was in this chat, we'll have to see. They added a random person to this group chat in a conversation about an ongoing search for a convicted attempted murderer. And of course, in March, as famous as Watergate, U.S. national security leaders accidentally included a journalist in a group chat about impending military strikes in Yemen. Pegasus leaks like a faucet. This whole administration does, and it's just so sloppy. But I want to get back to this meeting in general because Putin flattering Trump and playing him like a fiddle is going to be a definitive part of what the next steps in the war between Russia and Ukraine are. For a minute, like within the past couple of weeks, Trump seemed like he was getting really fed up with Putin, and he was kind of starting to talk a little bit of shit. He was sort of talking about how Putin kind of betrayed him a little bit and was being a snake. I imagine Putin during the campaign promised him some stuff that was possibly a bit vacuous, because Mr. Trump probably lacks the ability to recognize that Russia is not famous for their honesty, especially not Vladimir fucking Putin. But at this point, just give him a little dick stroke and he'll fuck with whatever you want him to fuck with. But the regular flattery of like, I thought the US was gone, but now that you're here, it's back, was not the only flattery that Putin gave Donald Trump. He also reinforced Donald Trump's maybe his favorite thing, the big lie. Let's take a look.
Oh, Vladimir Putin said something, one of the most interesting things. He said your election was rigged because you have mail-in voting. He said mail-in voting every election. He said no country has mail-in voting. It's impossible to have mail-in voting and have honest elections. And he said that to me. It was very interesting because we talked about 2020. He said, you won that election by so much. And that's how he got it. He said, and if you would have won, we wouldn't have had a war. You'd have all these millions of people alive now instead of dead. And he said, and you lost it because of mail-in voting. It was a rigged election. But mail-in voting, Sean.
I mean, what does Trump love more than somebody reinforcing that he actually won in 2020, which he very much did not. But you have to wonder what happens behind the scenes in these meetings. I know that that's not a very subversive thing for me to say. It seems like it's just kind of Trump accepting compliments and, getting, blushing whenever some autocrat from around the world tells him what he wants to hear. But Trump definitely walked out of this meeting feeling very good about it, or at least projecting that he did. We got a clip from Fox News that we'll play right now that gives us a little bit of a look into it.
I just was texting back and forth with Sean Hannity, who just sat down with the president, and he said the president noted that he came out and said there wouldn't have been a war if he was president, and that's what part of Vladimir Putin said at the end of his written remarks. And he also said, in a scale of 1 to 10, I give today a 10. So that's the president grading what he thought of the meeting.
Donald Trump says that he did something perfectly. Oh my God. He could have at least given it a 9, because that's still an A+, but I guess 9 implies 90 out of 100, which is an A-. But you get what I'm saying. At least it's a little bit more humble. There's no way it was a fucking 10 out of 10. I'm sorry. But this is all unnecessary. Putin said to Trump, or at least allegedly said to Trump, although I believe it, that if Trump was president, the war in Ukraine would have never happened. And it brings to mind what Trump ran on and a huge part of his campaign and his early messaging of how he would handle Russia-Ukraine. We've got a video put together by the Lincoln Project that we're not going to watch all of because you're going to get the gist pretty quickly. But let's take a little trip down memory lane.
I'll end that war between those two countries in 24 hours. It won't even take that long.
Mark my words, I'll stop that war in 24 hours. I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine totally settled. I'll have it done in 24 hours. I would have a deal done in 24 hours from the time we started.
That video is like 4 times longer, by the way. It's just the same thing over and over again. And I feel like, again, you understand what's going on here. But the last thing I want to say about this specific meeting is people around the Democratic Party and people on liberal Twitter and stuff keep saying, like, I can't believe the president of the United States is openly embracing a war criminal. People are seeing Trump's meeting with Putin and saying, a president of the United States meeting with a war criminal? This is such an abomination. And I'm like, hey guys, whenever Bibi Netanyahu comes to DC, we roll out the fucking red carpet for him. When he speaks before Congress, Democrats give him standing ovations. I mean, look, the United States has been openly embracing a war criminal for years now. This is somebody who needs to be arrested and tried for war crimes. The international courts have been saying this. So I don't like that Trump is talking to and hanging out with and being buddy-buddy with a war criminal either. But let's not pretend that U.S. politicians, including most Democrats, although things are changing very dramatically, but U.S. politicians have been embracing somebody who everyone knows is a war criminal non-fucking stop. I don't like that he's hanging out with Putin either, but let's not pretend we haven't been doing this. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Comment some shit down below. I don't really know what to tell you to comment, but it's good. It puts our video out to more people when you do that. and more people ought to be listening to specifically me. With Bulwark, I am Russiagate expert Cameron Kasky. More soon.